Welcome to Art Juice. I'm Ben, I'm the artist, and this is my drawing process for Autumn's Child. This is a portrait piece of an elf or a forest spirit. It is a symbolic piece of the change of seasons, coming of fall, like a metaphor, if you will, for autumn. So I started off with I don't remember what that is, 2H or something, pencil, and I'm kind of loosely blocking in the form, and then I'm working on the eyes. I am doing this from a reference that I generated on Midjourney, and so I have like a stylized female form that I'm working from, and once I got the eyes in, I feel like I can gauge the rest of the face and then start to work on proportions from there. Now, this isn't a long reworked piece, a piece that I go into over and over again. This is, I think it took maybe an hour ish to do the entire thing. So it's, I don't know, a fast piece. I tend to work fast, which is a positive, and it's also a negative that I have a hard time going in and spending a lot of time on one piece of work, but it is what it is. So I put down the figure, I gave her these large elf ears, and then I'm working on the crown, her autumn crown of leaves, and there's a little pine cone and some acorns, and then putting in some hair and just working on sort of tightening up some details. And I'm flurried through the drawing so I could start the coloring process, and I'm just sort of wetting the background area, sort of loosely putting in some like autumn colors, like of golden yellow browns, and then that kind of red earth tone, hinting at the color change in the leaves that's just starting to happen here. And you know, it's wet. It's 140-pound watercolor paper. I taped it to the table, and just sort of dumping color into it, and I'm coming back and putting in some soft skin tones to start, trying to leave space for the highlights, leaving it white. This is like a mixture. It's like some watercolors and some gouache. Mostly I think I'm trying to use the gouache, but I have old watercolors just in the same mixing pan, so I'm just kind of throwing in whatever was in the little pan, and you can see it there on the right, and just coming in and addressing like the warm areas of the ears, the fleshy bits like the nose and the mouth, and around the eyes a little bit. And then I was working on this kind of like autumn color eye design, like almost like liquid leaf color around her eyes. And then I'm just sort of blocking in just some simple colors on the crown, and not really having a 100% pre-planned color map for this. I just sort of have a general idea on where I wanted some colors, and then as colors come out, I kind of push them around to see if I can balance the colors a little bit, that reddish orange, and and then as the colors dry, they kind of soften and I'll reassess the balance, the compositional balance of the colors, and I'll come back and reattack it a little bit. And I'm just blocking in the coloring stuff. And there's trying to do the acorns. I don't think the acorns are very successful. I need to practice my acorn coloring. And using a little, I think it was like a dark brown with some purple. I can't remember what I mixed for the dark around the eyes. And then I'm adding some more layers to the eye tones. And again, this whole piece is predominantly warm colors. And so then I'm trying to balance a little cools in the shadows of the ears, shadow of the nose, the upper lip that's more in shadow. I'm trying to put in a little bit of a cooler red, and coming back in and working on the eyes. And see, I'm trying to put in a little cool for the shadows around the jawline. That helps add some visual interest. You could do the whole piece in warms, and it would be neato, torpedo, but I think I just like to add subtle differences. And I started off with a bigger brush, and now I've kind of moved to, geez, I can't remember what that is. Is that a 2? No, I should have looked. It's a smaller brush. And then when I get into bigger neck areas, I have to come back and use a bigger brush to get the effects. But yeah, there I go back to that. I think that's a 6. And then for the neck, I wanted it to go into more colorful abstractions. And so it stood out from the autumn colors, but wasn't so different that it didn't fit, if that makes any sense. So, you know, the cools in the neck really stand out against the warm yellow golds. And I'm just working on the leaves some, working in the background some. When I'm working on things, I kind of jump around. I didn't really notice this until I started watching myself working, that I tend to pop around the workspace a lot. I don't know why. It's just ADHD or whatever. I don't know. Darkening the eyes. Some interesting light pulsing. I don't know what my camera was doing. I have to go back and check that out. I thought the lighting was pretty consistent, so sorry if it's a little on and off again looking with the lighting, but might be my camera setup's weird. So anyway, yeah, I did the figure, got the neck in. Now I had to reinforce the hair, which added some nice darks that dangled down just as contrast against the background. I wanted the eyes to be bigger, but I just had a hard time doing it. I don't know. Maybe they seem just too big, but that's kind of what I was going for, but I couldn't get myself to push to the limits of eyes to make them look more, I don't know, pop surrealist, big-eyed girl. So I kind of get this in between. I was trying to give her golden, glowing eyes. I think it came out okay. I'm just adding subtle bits to forms on the face with some shadowing. And then I reinforced with a darker pencil, probably a 2B or something, I don't know. Because I felt like the leaves were too washy and didn't stand out enough. And I was thinking of inking it, but I didn't. I think dark pencil worked well enough, and it just sort of makes the piece have a little more variation to it. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this process. I'll do more portrait processes like this just so we can see if I can improve and you guys can get inspired to try your own stuff. It's fun. Autumn's here. Do some autumn pieces. Life is short, so go out and make some art. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day or evening. Bye.